Hey
Stalwart fam!
Welcome back to our channel.
Welcome back.
My name is Faith.
My name is Michael.
And we are
the Stalwart Lovers.
If you are new here, thank you so much for coming. We are so glad that you stumbled upon us. We are so glad that you are watching us right now.
Yeah.
Please become a member of this family. Click on that subscribe button below. Turn on the notification bell so that you don't miss any of our further uploads. Like this video, go to other videos and binge watch. Drop a lovely comment. Everything, share. If it blesses you.
Evangelism right there. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for coming back.
Yes,
you know that we love you.
Yes,
so
much.
What are we talking about today, baby?
We're talking about something so dear, something so important to us, something that has been on the top of our prayer list. It's such that anytime we are talking in a video and we say, oh, we have some challenges that we are going through, and there's some things we are looking up to God for, just know that, it's most likely that, trust me, it's most likely that. So
what is that?
Yes, it's our Canadian story, our Canada journey.
Yeah.
The nitty-gritties of everything.
Yeah. My face literally lit up, thinking about the fact that I'm about to share this testimony.
Yeah.
It's such a delight, and God sees my heart. This is something that we waited a long time for, and we have a testimony that can encourage someone. This video is not for everybody. This video is for somebody that has something they are trusting God for, and it looks as if it's not forthcoming and all that. This video would encourage you, I believe strongly, because the testimony of the righteous always edifies, and we have a testimony.
Yeah.
It's not just the regular Canada story. All right, so sit back, relax for this story. It's going to be one that will bless you. I believe so strongly.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, guys, so if you're wondering, in case you're wondering about the t-shirts we have on, so this is from Gert Store. We'll put their Instagram below. This is Imago Day. And this is Kairos.
This was a gift from Gert Store, guys.
Yeah.
And go check them out. Lovely prints. Yeah.
So let's jump into the video.
Let's jump right into the video.
Okay, I think I'll just let you start.
Alright, so the journey started with me. I've always wanted to go to Canada. I've always wanted to travel to Canada, live in Canada. My dream was to live in Canada from a young age. I think my dad must have painted that picture. And I also just really, really knew that I was not born for Nigeria, to live in Nigeria. I knew it. I remember when I'm coming from school, Nigerian roads and all the bumpy rides, and my mom asks me, how was the journey? I always tell her that, Mom, I was not built for Nigerian roads. And this me that was telling my mom this, we were below average. We were not wealthy or anything. I just had great dreams as a young child, right? Fast forward to, final year in university, we had a lecturer who had gone to Canada to do his PhD and came to teach us. So I moved close to him, and he really encouraged me that it is possible, encouraged me that my dreams are valid, and it's still one of my biggest supporters today. He's like a very, very, very big brother to me, like an uncle to me, and we are very close. And so after school, I started applying.
Yeah.
I applied to an agent.
I think that what year? Let's give some time.
Okay, timestamp 2015.
Yeah, that was the first time
my first
made any
investment, financial investment towards applying. I paid an agent his own fee, and I paid for the school application. I think it was 120 Canadian dollars then. Got so good. US dollars was 165 naira at the time, so Canadian dollars was cheaper than that. I can't remember exactly how much, but we started applying, and he was able to secure the admission for me. Please don't ask me about the agent, please. Thank you. Alright, I was able to secure I have to say it because people will ask. I was able to secure the admission for me, and the admission came around when I was already done with NYSC. At that time, we were almost going to start the relationship.
Yes.
We were already very close friends. No, I had finished. I was in Nakure.
Oh, you had finished? Yes. We were very close.
So I had to pay $250 Canadian for acceptance fee, Concordia University at the time. And I called my dad. because I didn't have no money. I just left, NYSC. I called my dad, and long story short, he didn't have the money. He felt really sad. I felt really sad. The call ended in tears. I was crying.
He
He
was
was
crying.
crying. I just felt my life passing before me. Like this was something I always wanted. Now I have an admission. I can't even afford to pay acceptance fee. How on earth would I
Even be
ever
able
be able to
to
afford the school?
exactly
You
to
know,
even
so
afford the other things.
I forgot about it and I applied for masters in Futa, which I actually dropped out when I realized that see, is either I do masters abroad or I don't do masters
At all.
because I would never do masters in Nigeria. So but I'm not going to talk about my detest for Nigerian education system yet. I think I just said something about that. So if you are my lecturer in school, I love you. Okay. Now
It's the system is
is
not
the system is not you. Maybe some of you. Let me
Anyway.
focus. Let me focus. So, fast forward a year after, my mom had like a vision or a prophecy and decided to ask me that how far with this Canada thing? Because I didn't carry her along on my conversation with my dad. Then I told her that, oh, I had an admission and I lost it. And she was like, what? Why didn't you tell me? Can we see if we can revive the admission? So I tried everything I could. I was given the admission back.
Yeah, I think
And my
like
mom helped me with the money. I think she got some contributions or so.
Yeah,
She helped me with the
contribution.
money and I was able to pay for the,
That
acceptance
fee for the admission.
So now I had a valid admission. I could apply for visa. Now
That was
come
2017, right?
it was now 2017, and that was when I had to apply for visa. My God. Now there's no hope for someone that wants to study abroad that does not have money and does not have scholarship. Most likely Canadian government will not give you visa. And so there was this agent that talked to me about how it could help me do it, and let's not talk more than that. So but that was not going to be the right way, right? It's some cunning
Yeah, doctor
approach,
stuff.
doctor stuff, some falsified documents that I just couldn't do it. But I struggled with that decision, and that's where you came in. Like I told her at
Yeah,
that
we're
time,
already in a
we
relationship.
were in a relationship. The plan was that I was going to travel to Canada and then come back to marry her, and then she would now come with me, which I would have done. I'm not this kind of people that would go to abroad and then forget the love of their life. This love is too strong for me to do that.
Jay.
Yes, baby, you know that. So then I asked her, for advice. She told me not to do it, and I just trust God and apply, But it wasn't enough for me. I needed some stronger reasons because I knew that not going with this agent could cost me like 90% chance of getting that visa, because I don't get anybody. I don't get money. You get. So I called my spiritual father who was mentoring our relationship at that time, and he didn't even tell me do this or don't do this. He asked me clear questions. What do you think is the right thing for you to do? Based on your work with God, based on the fact that you're a child of God. And I told him that one of my core values is integrity. I've come this far with God. I know it is wrong.
Yeah.
I know it is wrong, and it's just so hard. It's like, can't I just compromise this once, And he encouraged me that we should not compromise, and that God will always come through. And I made up my mind that day that I would apply myself, and whatever I can be able to cook up, I'll cook up as legal as any document I provide would be correct, right? Would not be falsified and all those things. In any way, I remember the next day, babe. The next day, I cried because I knew that it was like all hope was gone. I cried, and then I was praying. So I started praying, and while I was praying, God spoke to me. Brethren, the beauty of God's word in your lowest time, I can't explain it. I got so much, strength, so much energy. God gave me promises, and He told me that Canada, you will enter it, and you enter it gallantly. And there was no way that was possible. But I just believed it, and I wrote it down, And so fast forward, I applied. I was able to find my way and applied. And of course, some of you know already, I got rejected in December 2017. So, babe, talk to us a little bit about why Canada. Have you always wanted Canada?
Well, for me, every time my parents even ever spoke about anywhere abroad, or when it looked like, okay, what country would I ever want to live in as a young child, it had always been Canada. Like my parents, my dad would always say, Canada this, Canada that. As a child, though,
Me
not
too.
that it really influenced me too much, but you know, it was just crazy to now find out that I was actually getting married to someone that had
Same.
Canadian dreams.
Yeah.
When I was younger, I think when I started studying architecture, there was this person, one of my church members, brothers that was in Canada. I think he is in Toronto as well.
No.
And yes, and he has a firm, in Canada. And so my mom is like, you go and work with him, in Canada. And that was just my parents. It had always been Canada, Canada. You know when your parents keep speaking something into your life, and when you as well keep seeing it, that
It becomes
if there's any country that I would actually live in, I know it's Canada. So getting into a relationship with him, I mean, that wasn't one of the reasons why I said yes or anything. But just getting into a relationship with him, and that was where it was going as well. It was just amazing. That was basically my own Canada story.
Our dreams aligned, I believe.
Yes, our dreams.
And it also means that we are meant for each other. Like, I mean, I couldn't be so passionate about Nigeria, want to fix Nigeria so badly, and you are passionate about traveling abroad. Something
would have been a divergence.
Yeah, so even me, my dad always mentioned Canada. Like when we were young, he would take banana, put on his ears, and I would take banana, put on my ears, and say, "Hello, is that Michael from Canada?" And I'll say, "Oh yes, it's Michael from Canada. Canada is very cold." I never knew what Canada felt like, So I think our parents really helped, there. So fast forward again back to when I got the rejection.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was expecting it to, but I was also hopeful and praying.
Because his chances just went
it was us. So it felt like I lost my dream for the sake of the kingdom, for the sake of my walk with God, for the sake of me and Jesus, right? For the sake of my testimony, But I would rather lose that than lose my testimony. And that is where I think the reward always comes. When you prioritize God and the kingdom of God and your testimony as a believer above your own wants, I think that just changes everything. All right, and I really hope this video blesses you, as you're listening to the story. So I started looking for other opportunities. Is there no other way that I can get to Canada apart from student? I know I want to live in Canada. Do you know why they rejected my application? They said they are not sure that I'll go back to Nigeria.
Yeah, because as a student,
you're supposed to go back. And I felt like, well, you are damn right. I don't have plans to go back. So maybe I could find other ways that it will be that I'm coming to stay. And luckily for me, my boss at the time was about to travel to Canada, was on a PR application. So I asked him,
what do I need to do?
How do you do this thing? Tell me about it. And he just gave me a quick breakdown, just like I did in the previous video. So if you've not watched it, go and watch it. And so he told me to check my CRS. I did that CRS calculator. I put all the highest point of IELTS because I believed that I will pass. I'm a IELTS and we go read the IELTS. So I put all the highest point. As a single man, I was young. I think I was 22 or 23 at that time. No, 24.
You were 24.
24, yes, it was 2018.
Okay.
So
okay.
I was already 24. Age was on my side. Age is still on my side. And I had like 441. If I passed IELTS with all the high bands, I felt like, yes, let's do this. I didn't have a kobo in my account. I used my last kobo then to pay for my IELTS and my WES. That's the evaluation. I did that immediately. I booked for IELTS at the nearest available date. And I started studying IELTS. Thank God I was out of job. So I just left a job. I was looking for a new job. So I was just studying and studying, and I had my relationship then. So you were always encouraging me from time to time. I just believe that I was gonna get it.
That's even from the previous year. Was it not 2016? You said
2016 now.
And this was 2018 January
Yeah.
or so.
So I was about to move to Lagos. So I just believe that I would get it. I will pass it. The next ITA, next draw will pick me. The processing period will be 1 month. Because I saw some people's processing period 1 month. It will be 1 month. Before September, I will get into that Canada. Like, determined vision. So this time I was single, I will go, and then we'll come back, get married, and then I'll process
spousal.
I wrote the IELTS and I passed very well. My first take. The only thing was I had 6.5 in writing, and I needed 7.5.
Okay, 7.5.
Yes, so I applied for a remark for my IELTS. I paid 15,000 or something. I applied for a remark, and then they remarked it to 7. So, but the 7 was not good enough up to 7.5. So I had 438 instead of 441.
Yeah.
And so the wait began. I was waiting for draw, praying, waiting for draw. Every 2 weeks there was draw. Then we never saw a score that came lower than 441. You know,
in fact, there was up to 440. There was 439.
There was a time there was 440.
For like 3 weeks. 439.
There was 439. There was now one time that it was 438.
If I when my husband said it to me, I was so happy. I was like, the draw had happened.
It was 438, my exact score, but I still didn't get invited. Do you know why? I mentioned the tiebreaker. So as at the time, the day and the time I got into the pool, there's someone who must have gotten into the pool way earlier, maybe earlier in the day or some days before, with the same 438, and those ones were called. You know, so that's the tiebreaker. When many of you have, you know, the same score, they will use the time you got into the pool. As in, I was almost depressed that day. I paid for a new IELTS exam, even though I was now working and I didn't have enough time to study. I wanted to try again to see if I could have that 441 by passing, you know, the writing. But the result was even not as good as my first because I was busy. I didn't have enough time to study. So that result wasted. We kept waiting. At the time, I wanted to write a BCS exam. Just before I paid for that one. But before I booked the exam, they said the exam was no longer available.
To a particular, maybe to
the next year or something.
Something like that.
Then I wanted to start masters because an additional degree will help you. Like, see, when you're in the pool, you want to do everything you can to increase
that
your
year
score.
we just zeroed out. I think you had your score. Yeah, that year I think your pool stuff had expired. Like
not yet.
Not yet.
Yes, not yet. I will explain when it expires.
Okay. But then we were like, okay, let's just push our minds forward for like maybe the next 1 year. Let's just know that you're not going to Canada yet till 1 year, so that you can get a new degree and it will really pump up the score.
So I wanted to do masters. I wanted to do masters so that way I would definitely have a higher degree. You know, higher score. You know, and I was about to pay for the masters.
Yeah.
Something was wrong. I couldn't pay. My WAEC result had a deficiency. I had to first start going to America to fix that. You know, that was how I couldn't pay for that masters. And then my profile expired because your Express Entry profile only lasts for 1 year. It's valid for 1 year. So when my profile expired, I just felt like, whoa, this Canada thing safe. I will open another Express Entry profile. I'm not, you know, ready yet. You know, I was looking for, I told her that, can we do court wedding? So that she will be a spouse. I will pay for her West. I'll pay for her IELTS. At least if her IELTS is able to, if she's able to pass very well, the score will go up a little bit to like 440.
Like 440, yeah. And that, see, all these guys, all these 2 scores, 3 scores
can mean
everything.
But my darling father-in-law was not having it. Then my fiance's father wasn't having it, you know. So you guys know our history. It was as if this guy, you are looking for every corner to share.
Take this girl away.
God. Those things used to make me angry. Like, just let me marry so that I can, you know, I can
push this score up. Like,
yes. I remember one of my friends, one of my big brothers advised me that, what's your problem with this girl? Can't you just leave her alone and travel
Like,
You know,
find a
you find a better
very
lady
good
in
girl.
Canada. I'm like, no, it's not her father that I want to marry. It is her. So me and her father are not on the same page right now. But time will tell, you know. And they never just understood me. Like I must be out of my mind on top of one girl, you know. And that's why you must know, you know, what you want in life. You know,
Yeah.
I knew she was what I wanted above all else, above Canada, literally, you know. And so,
Yeah, so
one thing
your
that
profile
happened, my
expired.
profile expired. I didn't renew it. That was how Ontario did a draw for NOC 2173 software engineer, and they picked everybody above from 439 and above.
Yeah, and you were in 438.
And I was in 438. I was in nothing because I had left the pool. I was like, so if it was 438 they drew now, that's how I will not get provincial invitation.
Yeah.
That night, nobody had to tell me. I opened a new Express Entry profile, and I stayed. I was just open. And don't forget, when you're opening the profile, there will be a place where you can select what province do you want to share your information. I clicked all provinces, and I'm telling you, exactly a week later,
They did another
draw. And because they had cleared 439 and above, before 1 week, more people had not even entered. So they were able to, take up to 436 and above, and I was 438. And that was how I received invitation to apply
That day was
to
a life
Ontario,
changer.
August 1st, 2019. I cried on the Okada.
I was taking you back from work.
Because that day, we still had a conversation with her about this let's get married thing so that you can also do degrees. And the father was like, no. So I was still feeling angry on the bike. And then I received the message. I shed a tear. I called my mother. I said, Mom, God is good.
Like, that was the beginning.
That was when
we knew that, okay,
this
it
is
has
now
started.
getting real. Yes.
After so many years of even just being in the pool. I mean, that was January 2018 of saying, okay, let me start PR to August 2019. That was a long time.
Yes,
anyway.
yes, honestly. So, and then, I had to, get all my papers ready, get everything ready, call my former employee, send me the reference, everything. And I had
because
to pay.
You have like a few months.
And of course, you had to pay, the application fee was about $2,000 at the time. I spent all my money.
Everything.
On that application. And I had just moved into a new apartment. So all I have left, I even borrowed money, to be able to pay and all those things at the time. We now started waiting and waiting. Then there was a time, God, I remember this story, babe. The Ontario Provincial nomination had different stages. So you will see your application as it's moving
stages or so.
into, yes, 4 stages. So I think we were on second stage.
Submitted.
Yes. Man, we were on second stage for a long time.
Yeah.
Then one day I was just praying. God woke me up with one holy anger. I took my passport and I was praying in tongues. I prayed and prayed. I said, the gates of Ontario open unto me. I prayed before going to work. And as I was praying, the Lord spoke. And when God speaks to me, I know it's not this. No. I know.
Enough said.
Enough said. God spoke to me that today there will be an increase in your profile.
Mm-hmm. And you know the funny thing? That same day, I think I was also having my quiet time or something in the morning. And I also got that today.
Yes.
In fact, I called my husband.
She called me. I was on bike on the way to work. She called me and told me that God said today. And I said, babe, did he just say God said today? I said, this is not cliche, but this morning God told me clearly in my spirit, today you will receive an update on your profile.
And that today did not fail.
So, Utiman Beju, you are jumping. So that's how we went into a fast that day. And I didn't eat, till a certain time at work. Every time I remember today, I'll just pray. I'll just pray in tongues. As I was walking,
full of faith.
I was full of faith. But the night was coming and I did not see anything. I logged into my profile like 1 million times. I did not say anything.
I said, God, you said today.
I said, God, you said today. God, you said today. Jibola and Bolu, my two younger brothers, were living with me at the time. That was how one time I just felt like check again. I just logged in and saw that from step 2 has moved to step 3. Now so I just started to cry. I now explain the testimony to my younger brothers. That's how revival broke out in the room. We worshiped God for like 1 hour. We started prophesying. Bolu knelt down. I laid my hands on him. I prophesied. I see into your It was powerful that night. When the spiritual is at your faith is strengthened. When God speaks and you see it, you now doubt this God if he's real. How? Was I speaking to myself in the morning when I heard today? I wasn't. It wasn't in my brain. You understand what I'm
It
saying?
wasn't the voice of my mind.
Yes, it wasn't myself speaking to me. No, it couldn't have been. And it was really encouraging to know that God is with us in this journey. This Canada's journey, God is with us in it. And we kept trusting, and then the provincial nomination came.
Yeah.
Then, at that time, her dad has already, we're on the same page. Or should I say we
almost. We're already telling him that there's something that's happening now. This and this and this. These stages. Let me just say. By these stages, by this so and so time, we should. Once this thing happens, we get married. We need to get married. So to them, it was like. That's how Michael is always bringing this. They shall agree. They shall agree that if it gets to this stage, no problem.
So I wouldn't say we're on the same page. We were on the same page in terms of relationship. They had already accepted me as your fiance, but they were not ready for you to get married. Like how? You get that was where we were not on the same page. But they agreed to a court wedding, and that was why we had our court wedding 2019 December before our main wedding in June. Yeah. That's why we have 2 wedding anniversaries. So we had our court wedding then immediately. Passport for my wife. Change of name. You would think say I'm desperate. I was desperate. Change of name came out in like a week. Passport came out in like 2 weeks. I was spending money like medicals immediately. Before we know it, we applied February. And that was December to February. And now this is the thing. When you have provincial nomination, I explained to you that you have additional 600 points on your application. So my score became 1038.
Yeah.
So normally when you add a spouse, your score comes down, except the spouse has done
IELTS and all those things.
So I just added my wife as if she didn't go to school. No, because if you say she went to school, you have to prove it by West. She did not do English test, and my score dropped to 1012. It will have been 412. But because of 600 points, the Lord of 600 points. So it dropped to 1012, and come on.
So that's still
the next drop picked us like immediately.
Yeah.
Our passport was not ready then. I declined it. When you have mind to decline invitation.
I see.
I declined it the drop came on our court wedding day.
Oh,
yes,
okay,
remember,
okay,
and we had not done passport and all those things. So I declined that invitation.
By the time it was 2 weeks.
By 2 weeks, you already had your passport and everything. So I now had added you to my profile. Then I now accepted it. And the rest, they say, is history.
Although, not history.
We'll now summarize the history because I know that time has gone.
Well, let me just
talk now. At least from here, you know the story very well.
Let me just put it this way. You know what? Do you remember when we told you it was December 2019 that we got married in the court? By February 2020, we had applied. But you all know what happened in 2020. We all know how 2020 was.
COVID-19.
Something we had never envisaged
happened.
All of a sudden, lockdown, blah blah blah. In fact, our wedding that we're planning for May
was postponed
till June.
Even the June was like very small, 30 people.
30 to 25 people there, 25 to 30 people wedding. That was how big our wedding was, and
how big, how small?
How small, sorry. And then Canada went silent. That space between the Old Testament and the New Testament. That's 100 years. That was how it was. And the funny thing?
It was silent. See, the dream was we'll get married in May, by August, because the application was
like
it's supposed to be
3
six
to 6
months.
months,
So
yeah.
February 7, by August 7, we should have gotten our PPR and we'll go
I'll
to
be going to
Canada.
Canada. That was it. That like there was nothing that was supposed to spoil that plan. You understand?
My God.
You understand?
And then I think one of the things that added to our challenge was our visa office was Accra, and Accra
Yeah.
is notorious for slow processing time.
Yeah. So there was a particular period in time. I think in September, October, people are started getting
They started getting
they started
PPRs.
getting PPRs again. It's like if I was there were some people that got PPRs at that period. Honestly, we were happy for them.
My friend got PPR then, told me.
Yeah. We were so happy for them, but it was like, okay, I want to
I want to
come.
is
I
coming.
want to come.
Every day we'll pray.
That
Every
today,
day Lord, tomorrow PPR will come in the name of Jesus. Then PPR will not come. Then in the night again, when we're taking a walk, say, Lord, tomorrow. And then it became, Lord, this week. Hope delayed used to make the heart weary. So every Sunday we have, Lord, this week, we decree it. Lord, this week. And then next Sunday will come, Lord, this week.
Because they were answering people. But before you know it,
people
again,
that were getting PPR.
in fact, we even got one schedule 4.
We got the schedule 4.
Like that.
So, and people that get schedule 4 at that time, within 2 weeks, 4 weeks, they get PPR. That's how our own kept taking 6 weeks, 8 weeks. I'm like, God, what's going on? And then we now went to.
And we have been ready for visa since August 2020.
Yes, and how do you know? There's this you can GCMS form.
GCMS.
You can send the request to Canadian Immigration Office to send you details of your application. So in that detail, it showed that an officer already marked our application ready for visa August 28th, 2020. So from ready for visa, just approve COPR now. Bang bang. Approve PPR now.
Nothing like that.
So one of those days when we were praying, I think in December now, I just felt like let's ask God for a word. As we were praying,
because our hearts were so
we were getting
pensive.
tired, yes. As we were praying, and when you wait on God so much, wait on God to get a word, so you can now wait on that word.
Yeah.
If not, you'll just be agitated. So what we did was, as we were praying that night, God told me that He's going to speak to us. So I told my wife that, open up your spirit. God is about to speak to us.
And God did speak.
And God spoke. It was my wife that God spoke to. And God said, I have done it. With a full stop. Like my wife saw it like this, written on a blackboard. And once we heard that word, and we don't joke with what God has said. We don't joke. From the day we heard that word, we stopped praying, Lord PPR, Lord PPR.
In fact, when we even prayed about
the
it,
day we prayed Lord PPR once, God said, I have done it already.
Spoke again.
I said,
okay, Lord, see, in fact,
this
from that point, we just wait. Like, we became so at peace.
We were so at peace.
We could not even, like, even if we want to be agitated, we could not be agitated.
It was my mom, our parents that were always praying for us. Mom, just be praying Thanksgiving prayer. We started saying, Father, we thank you because our PPR is settled. That was how we were praying. It wasn't, Lord, PPR, Lord, let them
And guys, we prayed this prayer for another.
My God.
For another 1 year, 3 months, from December to January, February.
Was it December, end of November? Can you imagine God telling you that I have done it? And
I've done it already.
And then you wait another 1 year. And trust me, guys, that
Now
1 year was one of the best 1 year of our lives.
Honestly,
because we were not thinking about this thing. We just
we're just
left.
moving forward.
When the Bible says, cast all your burdens on Jesus for a case for you, honestly, we just started doing everything that we didn't do before.
Because it was in that 1 year, the YouTube breakthrough happened. So it was in that 1 year, a lot of elevations, a lot of miracles.
So we stopped considering that we'll soon travel, in every decision we made. Because trust me, if you entered our house, we are using 2 cam gases. Instead of buying regular, we go soon travel. I didn't even want to buy TV at the time. We go soon travel. You understand? I think I mentioned it in one of that video where I said I bought your ring for 500 naira. How many things we didn't do because we had projects. It was this. We were saving because POF no be beans. And naira just
Wobbling.
In the midst of that, we did one investment like that took. Should we tell them how much? No.
No, we're not going to tell you how much.
That took more than half of what our POF should be away, and we lost everything. and we started from scratch. But God is a miracle working God. It changed our financial story, changed our lives. We got so comfortable. Even in Nigeria, we were living, much
Well.
more above average. That we had enough to save up for Canada. A lot more to save up for Canada. And when the story would happen, it did come through. And PPR actually came.
It
Because
actually came.
God never fails.
And it was like clockwork from there.
And once it came, everything was just bam, bam, bam. I mean, I think we've documented most of that already on YouTube. And I just want you to know that what God has told you will come to pass.
Yeah.
Don't trivialize any word. If you feel in your spirit, when it comes that God spoke to me, hold it. Hold it. Don't let it go. Write it down.
And let that word give you peace.
Let it give you peace.
And comfort.
Let it give you peace. And trust me, it wasn't as if I had peace all through. Sometimes the annoyance of Nigeria will do me. I'm like, God, take me out of here. Maybe they just killed one innocent person in the north or something, And I'll just go back and say, God, I thank you because you have done it. I just remind myself God's promises. When you are waiting on God, it's easier when you wait on His word than you're just waiting. What are you waiting on? Right? And that's our testimony, guys. Honestly speaking, that is our testimony. It is such a beautiful one because it has been from glory to glory. Remember when God told me that Canada, you enter it and you enter gloriously?
Yeah.
To the glory of God. When we came to Canada.
That was the exact story.
When we came to Canada, the morning that we had, let's rest our case.
We dropped the mic.
So we're able to do everything we wanted to do without
stress,
second guessing, much more than POF that we brought in. Because if you just POF, you'll be thinking, oh, I have to not spend too much. We have to buy everything we wanted to buy, live the kind of life we want to live. We rent an accommodation that we really love, no matter how expensive, it is.
Might have been.
And God is faithful, and God is still faithful. He's meeting our needs beyond what our finances can handle. And that is the beauty of working with God. That is the beauty of, not compromising on godly standard because of your own desires.
Yeah.
Honestly speaking, I feel strongly that a lot of this is also a reward of that decision I made. I could have gone ahead with that agent and I would have been in Canada and maybe I would have been struggling. Maybe I would have made it. But I know myself that there are some things that I'm not permitted to do in this life. I will suffer for it. Like I'm the kind of student that I can't cheat in an exam. If I try it, they will catch me. My friends can be cheating and have A's, but if I try it, they will catch me. So if people could have gone through that route and everything is fine with them, but because God and I, we've come.
There's a mark on your head.
There's a mark. Touch it again. Touch that head again. Glory. Because we've come so far with God to turn back and be compromising godly standards for our desires. And please, let me just say this, guys. I want to encourage you. Don't compromise godly standard for anything.
Yeah.
For example, if you're a virgin or you are celibate, you've stopped, fornication. You're trying to hold on to godly standard of sexual purity. Don't compromise it because the person that looks like the best choice for you wants to leave you if you don't have sex with him. Don't compromise godly standards.
Or even her.
Or her, yes. Don't, for example, another example is you are married, you don't have kids, and then you may be pressure from your village. They want to, kolobi one girl so that you can have a child from someone else. No, the only blessing that had no sorrow is the blessing that comes from God. All right, don't try to be wiser than God. Don't try to go your own way. Stay put.
This might be a narrow way. It
might
hard.
not be easy, but stay put. See, the kingdom is first. Don't forget what God told us in January, that it is a year of the kingdom, where you have to put God first. Seek first the kingdom of God, and every other thing will be added unto you. So in every decision you make in your life, you have to consider the impact it has on the kingdom. You understand what I'm saying? And don't compromise godly standards, for anything. I mean, that's it, babe. That's it.
Yes, so that's basically it. I mean, my husband
I feel a
got
lot of
passionate in
spiritual
there.
energy
Yes, so
while I was talking,
yes,
right?
so
I feel this. I mean, this is a long video. If you waited this long, there's something
honestly,
in this video for you.
for you.
And I said this already. This video is not for everybody. All right. So, but if you know that it was for you, let us know in the comment section. Let me know how our testimony has, revived your faith. How it has blessed you. Don't be shy to drop a comment. All right.
Yeah,
Don't
please
be
drop a
shy
comment.
to also give a thumbs up. These things help our algorithm. It helps YouTube to know that this is a good content for others, and they recommend it for others as well. So please
Yeah.
give us your feedback in the comment section.
Yeah.
And share this video if you know that there's someone that is waiting on God for something, and you feel this video would encourage them.
Encourage them.
Share this video with them, and I believe that it will bless them.
Yeah.
The Lord bless you.
Amen.
Amen.
So till we come here again
Keep loving.
and keep believing,
We are the
Stalwart
Stalwart
lovers.
lovers.